Okay, good morning, everyone. I'd like to open this Polk County Board of Commissioners meeting. It is June 16th, 2026. Extra agendas are on the back table. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And for the record, all commissioners are present. And first up is for comments, not on this agenda. Would anybody like to approach the board today? And seeing no one running to the front, we'll look for approval of agenda.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed unanimous. Looking for approval of minutes of June 9th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed unanimous. Brings us to Polk County Sheriff update. Sheriff Mark Garden. Welcome.
Morning, commissioners. Last week I sent, you guys should have a copy of, I'm guessing you do.
Yeah.
Just our first quarter stats compared to last year's first quarter stats, and just to give you an idea of some of the things that we're doing. Our call load going up, our volume going up on all of our patrol functions, pretty much every category. In the jail, that sort of correlates. Also, our bookings are up, but then all the things that we don't control are down. So, meaning that like it's through the court process or whatever, they're the ones determining when people get released and that kind of thing. So those numbers are all down, but the bookings, which is the input, is up. Our deputies have been out. We're full staffed on patrol and in the jail. Full staffed with the potential vacancies for this upcoming fiscal year starting in a couple weeks or a week and a half. And so we are in a good position with our staffing the best we can. We only have one in FTEP right now, so on patrol. And so our other folks are just up and running. We got a couple injuries and we have somebody on baby leave and all the normal stuff of things, but we're able to still get the job done and keep up with the pace of work. On patrol, the pound has been used quite a bit. I think last weekend we had like 6 or 7 dogs in there over the weekend, and kind of stressed Jody out a little bit, but she was able to get them and I think got them back home, all but 2 of them right away. So again, she is very, very busy, very active. We're finding with our volunteers for the dog pound that we're going to have to kind of revamp how we look at that to be able to get basically we would expect that we would get, at least 2 or 3 volunteers at a time, but we're having huge fluctuations. So we're gonna have to restructure how that program works. We're able to get it done, but it's very clunky. So on patrol, OSP has been doing quite a lot. They've kind of restructured how they oversee the region. And so it used to be Salem and Mac offices are completely separate. Now they're in the same office. So there's like one patrol commander that sees those 2 offices. So we're actually seeing quite a good number of OSP troopers being just stationed in Polk County, even though there's not a active crash or something going on. So we've seen a good uptick in that, and they're actually helping quite a bit. That's been a pleasant change over the last few months compared to the last couple of years. So, do you have any questions?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just go right to OSP. So do they send you anything that give you some indicator of their activities?
No.
Okay. And
No.
Even if you hunted for it, would you find it?
I could I could probably get a little older data, maybe not like current, like of the month, maybe the previous month. I just know from going to all the different meetings I go to, I see troopers working traffic and then talking with the lieutenant that oversees the office. He has made a concerted effort to just send somebody over here, especially since the way they restructured stuff. So no, I can't get something from them. It's just what I see.
And the reason I'm asking that is because, again, we see, more and more violent crashes, of course, as time goes on, which is a behavior issue and related to speed as much as anything, but then other causes perhaps for the speed. And we're like in the dark completely here as a county about, who's actually enforcing on our state highways and what is the result of the enforcement on our state highways. And we've felt that we've had these ebb and flows. I'm just saying it from my own experience, that we've had these ebbs and flows. They'll show up for a crash and say, this is our jurisdiction, we got it, right? And step aside. And I'm characterizing kind of what I sense from you over the years, and which is great. That's fine. That's a crash and that should be their job. But on the enforcement side, I mean, these crashes, in some cases, a lot of cases, I think are caused by negligence and behavior and speed. And I have a hard time ever seeing them stopping people. Maybe you see them a lot more, and that's cool. And I'm hoping that's the case. But what would be interesting to know for us as a public who are paying for them, what are they doing? What is the result of their work? And it would be awesome, and I'd be happy to join you in that request from the lieutenant and anybody higher up that food chain to tell us what you're doing. Give us a report on your successes. I mean, just like I've pushed for this front door, I mean, don't just do it and ignore us. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what you're finding. And there they are, which is good to have so we can understand what the behavior is that's going on around us in public safety. I mean,
Well, ask.
yeah. I mean, I just think, it's one of those things that, we're being told it's a behavior problem and so forth. It's like, well, and we want to engage in spending money on education and that sort of thing, from highway behaviors through, drug use, et cetera, et cetera. We're all engaged in that.
Mhm.
But how do we know if we're having successes if nobody ever tells us what they're encountering, what they're how successful it is or it isn't?
Yeah,
And
I hear you.
it would be great to know. And I think that we should all here as electeds make it a concerted effort, say, hey, state, come on, tell us what's going on and give us a clue into what's causing some of this, because we, the four of us, get blamed for
100%.
most of this stuff. We're not doing our job. It's like, well, I don't know what else to do. So I'd like to be able to share real data with people about here's what we actually see out there, and this comes from the state police.
I'll check and see if they have any new ways of doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's been tough in the past
Yeah.
to get data, even within the last couple of years of data.
Well, and the other thing that goes with this is that, I mean, I'm sure they know this, but again, we've got somebody who's supposed to work with ODOT on a regular basis to fix problems. Yet we do know that if we could fix the driving behavior problems and get things slowed down a little bit, that the problems wouldn't be as severe. We wouldn't be needing to spend millions to billions of dollars on infrastructure changes if we could just get people to obey the law. So, sorry, go ahead.
That covered my question. I was just curious, mostly exclusively doing traffic enforcement.
OSP?
Yeah. When you say they're patrolling here.
Yes, and then they respond to crashes. I mean, we are getting our deputies are cognizant enough to know that if it's going to take 45 minutes for a trooper to get there, they're going to just handle the 20-minute crash and be done and move on. And so that's happening. But then there's times where it's a bigger crash. It's going to be more complex that we're like, no, we'll wait. We'll assist you once you get here kind of thing. So, and they've been, again, they've never said, well, no, we're not coming or anything like that. They're always helpful. It's just a matter of, is it efficient or not for that to happen? So.
So right now is a great time for you, Sheriff, because we have two new leaders in the region. So Lieutenant Hall with OSP, he's made some changes during when this capital is not in session. He's taken those officers that stood around the building and he's put them on our highways and mainly in Polk County, addressing the speeds and needs and working our highways. And I see him every morning coming to work, almost every day. Seems like at least 4 days a week they're out there. And then the new Salem Police Chief, Ditto. Both of these guys are really, I met with both of them already. They really want to build relationships with all our local police officers, cities and counties. And I'm really excited to see where we can take this with these two new leaderships. I mean, in the past, it's been difficult, but I think now you're going to find out that you have some people wanting to make changes and be really creative on how they do things and be partners.
I've met with Lieutenant Hall. He's been around for a while, so I know who he is. And I've already met with Chief Ditto regarding West Salem and how we can continue that. Because again, he had even admitted that the last time they kind of screwed things up and how it happened. And we did what we were supposed to do. And he's like, we're going to help you do that this time. So it's just a different approach. And he's willing to step up because, I think he lives in West Salem too. So he knows,
He does.
He sees it more than the other, maybe past chiefs have. So,
He came up within the system, so he got to see it from the ground up. And he knows that there's breakdowns in communication. When somebody leaves an office, they don't pass on all the information and knowledge and history. The new guy takes over. And some of those changes are some of the things that he's seen and experienced is going to make those differences.
Yeah.
And that's the exciting thing about both of these guys. It's exciting to see what's going to happen. So, yeah, but thank you. I see your deputies everywhere also. They are constantly going out through those routes.
they're energetic.
And there's been a lot of accidents on roads lately. I see Zena had one yesterday morning,
Yeah, I've been on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
2-car pileup. So just speed was the factor again.
I
So from what I hear.
So a little off your beaten path, but since we're talking about West Salem, let's talk about the park and the activities there. So my understanding is that we've had a couple of major contractors that have donated their services to go down there and clean up that park. And so you haven't seen it, I can tell by the expression on your face.
I have no idea who you're even talking about.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna put their names on the record at this point.
Okay.
But they told me directly that they have been down there doing it for the last few months. And to my knowledge, at this point, it's supposed to be done. Clear. And if you don't know that, then I don't,
of the park?
the whole thing on all the homeless camps. So I would love for you to be able to verify that.
Walk down there.
Yeah. And I don't feel like it's my jurisdiction to go nosing around in that kind of stuff, but I sure would like to see if in fact it is empty. And it does appear by the other activities going on the other side of the river,
Yes.
that there has been movement again. But it would be interesting to, from your perspective, and with your deputies that have been doing the work, since you shared with us your own photographs of the mess this winter, if you could give us your perspective on what it looks like right now.
Yeah.
Because if in fact that has been done, and those contractors, they're bona fide large contractors that went down there on their own expenses and cleaned that up. And so, and
Was that with coordination with the city?
yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Not just.
Yeah. Okay. I don't care either way.
I'll take a look. Yeah, I will see what has
Yeah.
changed.
It would be nice to at least get a snapshot again about, here's a moment in time. It was clear. And see if it lasts. But I think it would be interesting to know. And with that, then, I'm wondering, are we seeing the activities that you've had to be enforcement on in those businesses around the West Salem? Has that diminished at all?
I think it's diminished with some retailers and how energetic they are to prevent or at least have the visual appearance of somebody paying attention. There are smaller stores that are dealing with more damaged stuff now, like security cameras and just things on the outsides of the building. That wasn't present really as much 6 months ago or 8 months ago, but now that's kind of changed. So I don't know why that's the way, but I've talked to several businesses on the east side of Wallace Road that have kind of made that similar. There's breaking cameras, they're breaking locks, there's, that kind of thing. But thefts are still there.
I guess my interest in all of this and the expression here is that we've, again, all four of us have come together, with Marion County, City of Salem, lots of different activities, trying to find pathways to solutions. There's no question that our constituents, all of our shared constituents in the county and most specifically West Salem, want to see results. And I have no idea if we're presenting any results from anything that we have done recently. And I'm betting you do, but I think we need to talk about it more. We need to share it more. If there are results and we're seeing trends going any direction, at least on a quarterly basis for that hotspot, that we be talking about it and putting it on the record so that we know is anything that we're doing having success, or do we need to try something different? And while I appreciate, not being negative, but while I appreciate the chiefs that want to have relationships, that's how every one of them start. That's how they start. That's their first foot in the door. Good for them. But eventually they work for a city manager, and it's city politics that drive these problems, and county politics too, for that matter. And, I'd like to see us be able to at least applaud something that worked. And again, if we have contractors that volunteered and spent their own money to go down there and clean up what the state would call a multi-million-dollar mess to clean up, right? If DEQ had to go in, it'd be a Superfund site. We haven't had a chance to do that yet. And I think that we need to applaud them, parade them a bit, because I haven't seen a word. City of Salem hasn't done anything. I wouldn't have known if one of the contractor owners hadn't told me directly that they were down there actively cleaning it up. So, and I want to make a fuss about it, but he said, no, not yet.
So we are, 6 months ago, we did the theft sting over there. Newman is setting up another one of those with Salem because we want to do one at the beginning of summer. We want to do one at the end of summer, and to be able to see that decline or increase or whatever it is, that just to see if that has changed. And so that is actively working on.
We track housing status on those things.
We do if they get to the jail.
Okay.
We have a box for that, so we can kind of filter out.
But that yielded several.
I think they were all homeless that we arrested.
You arrested several people.
Yeah, 9 or 10 or something like that in 8 hours or something like that. So, you guys have any other questions?
Thank you for your efforts, sir. Good job.
I'll get back to you on the what's saying, please.
Any non-listed items today?
No, sir.
Okay, we're adjourned.